cut out your first piece, which is going to be 20 inches long and 6 inches wide. So when you're done tracing out, you're going to cut it out. Then we're going to measure for the second piece, which is going to be 2 inches long and it's going to be 1.5 inches wide. So when you're done measuring, you're going to cut it out. So moving on to the third piece, we are going to measure 9 inches long and we're going to measure 3 inches wide. So we are also going to cut that out when you're done tracing and measuring. So now we've got the 3 pieces we cut out here. We're going to the next thing we're going to do is to sew the 2 ends together. Like what we have here, like what I just did. Then the next thing you're going to do after this is to flip it or to turn it out inside out. You're going to turn it the way I'm doing now. So that's what you're going to do for the 2 pieces that you sewed. So I have done that. The next thing now you're going to do is to attach your elastic, which you're going to do like this. You're going to pull it out. You're going to sew this end and then start pulling it through the smaller piece that you've turned over. If you don't understand how to attach the elastic, you can keep watching. I showed in detail how to do that in the cross headband, which is the second headband in this video. So you can actually keep watching so that you'll be able to understand how I did this elastic area. So after you've sewed the 2 ends to hold the elastic from moving out, then you're going to proceed to the other process, which is flattening this part. This is the largest part. You can either do it with your iron or you can just do it with your hand, like the way I'm doing now. So then we are going to, after flattening it, you're going to attach your band to the end of this fabric or this material, like the way I'm doing now. When you do that, you're going to use your needle because your sewing this material is going to be too bulky or big for you to sew it with your sewing machine. So you're going to use your hand so that it can be very tight. So that's what I'm going to do now. You sew it very tight and very neat. You do that to the second side. Make sure you sew it very tight so that it won't like come off. And yeah, this is where the smallest piece comes in. The smallest piece we cut out the first time. So you're going to use it to wrap it around the front of the headband to make it look like a bow. So when you wrap it, you're going to sew it or secure it with a stitch, which you're going to use your hand to do so that it will be neat and you won't be confused while sewing or make mistakes. So when you're done, it's going to come out this way or turn out this way. So this is how you're going to wear it on your head so that the beauty can come out or the style can come out. So that is it for bow headband. It's very easy to learn. So we are moving on to the second one, which is the crossed headband. You're going to make sure your material have the length of 20 and the width of 8 inches. You're going to be having 2 of this material, each of them having 20 inches and 8 inches wide. Then you're going to have this piece here for your band. Yeah, so this particular area now has a detailed process of how to make the elastic part of the headband, which I told you guys earlier in the process of making the first headband. I told you that if it's not clear, you can keep watching, and then when you get to this point you'll be able to understand it because I made it very detailed. So this is the smallest piece for the elastic part, and then you're going to put out the remaining 2, which you're going to sew. You're going to sew this end, this one, and this one. So I'm done sewing and I'm done turning it inside out like the way I did in the bow headband. So when you're done, you're going to press it with an iron because this material is quite different from the one I used in the first headband. So I'm done pressing it out and it looks flat and nice. So we are going to move into making the elastic part of the headband. So what you need is your elastic, which you measured with 5 inches, and then you're going to use a safety pin. And if you don't have a safety pin, you can use this needle and use this process that I'm using right now, but you have to be extra careful so as not to choke or pierce yourself with the needle. So you're going to sew the extreme end of the elastic 3 times, and then you're going to put the bottom part of the needle into the fabric first. You're going to pass it through to the very end so that you can be able to pull the elastic through the hole of the fabric. So you're going to pull it you're going to pull it with caution so as not to cut the thread. So now you're going to secure that place. You're going to sew it to hold the elastic band. Now I'm done sewing it. So you're going to gradually pull the elastic so that you're going to make like a ruffle or something. You're going to make the clothes, push the cloth backward and then pull the elastic forward. So you're going to do that slowly and with caution so as not to cut the thread. So that's what I'm doing right now. You're going to pull it till the elastic gets to the end of the fabric. So mine has actually gotten to the very end. So now you're going to hold down the elastic by sewing that part again. You stitch it down. So this is I'm done stitching it now, and this is how it looks like after stitching. It's going to look like this and stretchy. So you're going to cut out the thread and then set it aside. You're going to set it aside. Now you're going to proceed to the front of the headband. You're going to place this band in a diagonal way or cross it. Make sure that these parts are facing each other. Then you're going to bring the two ends together and stitch them together like the way I'm showing you guys now. You stitch them together. So I'm done stitching them, and this is how it looks like. It turns out to look like this. So we are going to proceed to fixing the elastic part to these two ends. So now we are going to fix this first end before we proceed to the other end now. So how to fix it? You're going to wrap the front of the headband round the elastic part here. And you're going to sew with your thread and your needle, because your sewing machine cannot sew this big stuff. It won't even sew. So you're going to make sure you stitch it very tight and make it strong. Okay, so when you're done with this part, you're going to proceed to the next end. So we are moving on to the second part, or the second side of the headband. You're going to repeat the same process by wrapping it around the elastic part and sewing with your thread and needle. Please guys, I want to know which headband you prefer, or which one you like. I actually prefer the bow headband because it's actually simple, and black is actually one of my favorite color. It goes with any color. And then the bow tie headband or bow headband is unique. It looks so unique. So you're going to actually comment, tell me which headband you like or prefer, and also share this video with your family and friends. They might find it helpful. Please don't forget to subscribe for more videos that I'm going to be posting. They are going to be very, very helpful. Thanks for watching. Bye.